Restaurant manager. His spouse is Adrian. He has 2 show cats. He currently resides in Corona for the last 15 years. He enjoys fishing and sailing. His burning desire is to be of service. Something few people know about him, and I just want to they do, is that he used to MC cat shows. In the 1970s and 80s, he used to MC the country's really top cat show in Santa Monica, and he even had Betty White with him on stage. So he has some celebrity friends. And his key to success: enter each endeavor with expectation to succeed or to have success. So please welcome Bill.
Thank you. It's a pleasure to have this opportunity. I've been selling businesses for 25 years. I've sold over 300. I think I'm catching on. People have been asking me, what is the business like of selling businesses? To answer that makes me think of Charles Dickens' famous quote in one of his books. It was the best of times and the worst of times. 90% of business brokers have dropped out of the field. And it is more difficult now to sell a business than ever. The typical situation, if the person has money, they call the shots. To be in the best of times and best of position is to have money and be an expert in a certain field. That would give you the opportunity to practically pick the businesses that you want to buy. If you don't have money, then you're kind of out of luck. As a generalization, those that have money and they want to buy a business think that they're entitled to get a business at 10, 20, 30 cents on the dollar. Now, they often will not start out making such an offer. They'll make what seems like an honest offer and then constantly try to bring the price down. Now, the ones that are doing reasonably well in their business, unless there's a death in the family, a divorce, a partnership fight, they don't want to sell. They want to hold on. The people who are losing their shirts do want to sell. And they do their best to conceal how badly they're doing. I used to say that you can only trust 1 out of 3 business owners to tell the truth, the whole truth. Now I'd say it's maybe 1 out of 6 or even 1 out of 9. So if you are seriously thinking of buying a business, be extra careful in your transactions. Do not try to do it alone. Get an attorney or somebody like me to help you in the process. I'll give you a couple stories. One was a Mrs. Garcia. About 5 years ago, she called me. She had just lost her husband, but she got a $300,000 life insurance claim, and she wanted to buy a business. I suggested, well, come on in and let's talk. No. I just have a few questions. I discovered that she had no experience, never owned a business, never had a job. And she would not come and see me. A couple days later, she called me with some specific questions. Another couple days she called. Maybe she made 10 calls to me over a 2-week period of time. Then about 2-3 weeks went by and I didn't hear from her. The phone rang. I answered. There was silence on the other end. I could tell there was a person there because I could hear heavy breathing. Then I could hear a woman crying. After I got her somewhat calmed down, I found out that was Mrs. Garcia. She had just, what she thought, bought a business and had lost her $300,000. Now, coincidentally, that particular business I had seen about a month or 2 before, it was a gift shop across the street from the Brea Mall. It was unusually impressive. It looked like it belonged someplace on Rodeo Drive. The walls were covered with velvet in various colors, royal blue, black, red, And each piece that they were selling was individually displayed as in an art museum with lighting, etc. Each of the gift pieces were either silver-plated or gold-plated. Prices range from $2,000 to maybe $10,000. And when you walked in that place, it really was impressive. And I was wondering after I saw it, out of curiosity, gee, I wonder if they'll make it. Yorba Linda is not a low-income area, and neither is Brea. So somewhat coincidental that this lady had seen it too, and got taken in. She gave them the $300,000 on a Monday, but they would not let her take over the business until Thursday. In addition to the display area of about 20 major gifts, there was a stock room full of, again, additional gifts, and the value of the gifts was easily $300,000. So the transaction was carried out on a Monday. She was not given the keys to the place until Thursday, and all the inventory was gone. There was no forwarding number to the sellers. So she wanted me to help her in this situation. I said, I'm sorry, I really can't. What you want to do is call the police and maybe find an attorney. Now, that's kind of a sad situation. One of my favorite success stories is about a young man who, after he graduated from high school, took a job in a gift shop in Huntington Beach. The owner was struggling. Most of his inventory came from China, and the owner had difficulties getting the shipments on time, getting the product to look good, etc. He was grossing about $500,000 a year, pocketing maybe $40,000 for himself, working 60 to 80 hours a week. Well, this young man worked there for a year. When he came to see me, he wanted me to appraise his business, tell him what it's worth. 3 years later, he was netting in his pocket $750,000 a year, sales about $12 million a year. He used the information he gained in that gift shop to get there. Now, would anybody like to guess how did he do it?
He called you.
No, I wish. No, he didn't call me. This is my message for today. Situations change. It is important for you to make the best of the situation that you're facing. And what this gentleman did was he changed the focus of being in a gift business. He decided to supply stuffed animals to carnivals, circus, places of that kind, where the size of the item is very important, the quality of workmanship is not, the execution of the workmanship is not. So he had pretty well commandeered much of the industry of these stuffed animals that you can win at fairs and circuses, etc. So if you're faced with a situation that is difficult, don't throw in the towel. Try to find other ways to make the situation work to your advantage. I have passed out some information. These are businesses that people have contacted me either by phone or in person and asked me to find these. I only have at this point 2 legitimate businesses for sale. One is a plant nursery close to here. The selling price is $1 million. The real value, just the wholesale value of the inventory alone is $2 million. If you make that referral to me and the deal happens, the referral fee on that is $6,000. I have a dental practice in Mission Viejo for sale, and the referral fee on that is $4,000. Now, on these businesses that are on this handout, the referral fee for most of them will be $2,000. So if you know any business that fits in this category that's listed here, and they're thinking of selling, and you refer to me and the deal happens, I'll give you a minimum of $2,000. I would like to now open up for questions or comments.
Yes. What's the standard, I guess, for evaluating what a business is worth? I mean, how do you do that?
Okay, there are different formulas for different kinds of businesses. The number one concern on the part of the buyer is, what will be the return on my investment? Number two concern is, what will happen if I take over the business? If the current owner's business is pretty much in a success level because of the current owner's skills, connections, personality, etc., and you step in, you might come out second best, and that can hurt the business. So the higher the return for the investment, and the more secure the business is to buy, the more it's worth. As a generalization, a service business is worth between 1 and 2 times 1 year's net income plus the liquidation value of hard assets. The more important the current owner is to the business, the less it's worth. If the current owner is not important to the business, maybe even the customers don't know who he is, then it's worth about 2 times 1 year's net income plus liquidation value of hard assets. Next in line is a retail business, but again, there's conditions. If the retail location has a lease of 6 months and you can't renew the lease, it's not going to bring anything. If the location is reasonably good and there's a long-term lease possibility and it is profitable and it's not something that's going out of style, then the business will be worth 2 times 1 year's net income plus the liquidation value of the inventory, etc. Next in line in value is a manufacturing business where you own the product. If you're just a job shop for somebody else, then it's roughly the formula applied to service businesses. But if you own the product and you have rights and you have more than 2 or 3 customers, we have a lot of customers, then it's worth up to 3 times 1 year's net income plus liquidation value of hard assets. The most valuable business is a distribution business, provided that you have hundreds of products and hundreds of customers, so that if you lose a product line or you lose a customer, it has minimal effect on the business. And that's worth 3, maybe 4 times 1 year's net plus the liquidation value of the hard assets. Any other question? Yes?
Besides it being your time up, Bill.
Pardon me?
Besides your time being up, I have to say about Bill, and I've known him for years, he's probably the most knowledgeable person, not just business person, that I have ever run into, ever. So,
Wow.
I'm serious. Really,
A check for 2,000 to you?
hopefully I can take it.
Thank you very much.
So Bill, yeah, very good. And lastly, Bill, can we send you email, or are you still email-less?
Yes and no. I'm somewhat computer
He has an
phobic.
email, it just doesn't work.
That's more accurate. Believe it or not, I spent $8,000 on a Mac system with all the bells and whistles, everything you could possibly buy, and I have not learned really to use it. I'm on Hughes service contract, and I have an email address, but again, I'm ashamed to admit I have not used it. I know I have to join the 21st century.
Maybe it's time to take Tanya's class.
Yeah.
Sounds good. Thank you very much.